Well, he just did. He just scored 8 points. That's the thing. He had a career. Yep.
Every loss, the weight of every loss will dramatically change the season.
Listening to the Sportz Nutz.
Yes, you are. You are listening to the Sportz Nutz. Welcome, guys. We have a phenomenal episode lined up for us today. Matt, we also have another special guest. How exciting is it? First off, we had a great episode last night. Can you believe we're already at number 55 on this?
Exactly, man. Back to backs, man. That's what we do. And NBA season's back. Back to backs. Like it's gonna be the theme this year. So back to backs, man. Let's do it.
That's right. Let's do it indeed. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a young man who was a part of our crew. He has officially decided to come and spend the evening with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man himself, Mr. Shane Mack. How you doing, Shane Owen?
Hey, man. Hey, glad to be back, man. Everything's kind of settling down now. So, hey, I'm glad to get on here and actually focus on some good sports talk. And, you guys got a great special guest tonight. So, definitely had to join.
Absolutely. I don't know if you guys know this. I actually have you guys airing on my TV in front of me because my girls are watching. Guys, this has been like the most excited I've been in a while for, I guess, obviously, Matt, we've had Ashley Lilly on the show. We've had our good friend Abe Gordon. We've had Brandon Leak from 680 The Fan. I mean, gosh, you name it. And then, look, last night we had a good friend of ours, Brian, on, it's just been a lot of fun. But guys, we have a very special guest coming on. He is in charge of everything good that goes for the University of Hawaii. Yes, before we go any further, hey, let's give a quick shout out, guys, to Tequila's Grill and Easy. Look, everybody knows they have the best food around. And look, you see the tree behind me. Holiday season is knocking on the door. If you want to have your corporate events, your family holiday events, give Tequila's Grill, give them a quick call. 864-307-8028. Better yet, stop on by 5155 Calhoun Memorial Highway, Easley, South Carolina, 29640. That is Tequila's Grill and Easley. As you guys know, they have the most affordable, delicious, and authentic Mexican. Guys, this gentleman right here, Shane, he will put down some Tequila's food. And then, of course, this man right here, he will put down a lot of Tequila's Grill food as well. So check them out. They're waiting for your calls. All right, guys, are you ready to bring on our special guest?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to announce that we have the athletic director of the University of Hawaii, Mr. Craig Angelos. Mr. Craig, how are we doing, sir?
It's great to be with you guys. I'm about 5,000 miles away, but I feel like we're still close.
We're always close. We're Ohana, man. Come on, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Craig, I don't know if you heard. I'm like a kid at a candy store when I get to talk to anybody from Hawaii. I love my friends from Hawaii. You might know a couple of them, Linda and Billy Fihoko. Billy was Billy the Warrior for UH for a long time.
Yeah,
I love talking with them. They're great people. Their son Braden actually plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
And him and I talk quite a bit, so I really enjoy getting to talk with him.
Yeah,
he's a great person. Just in general, everybody in the state of Hawaii, they're great people. They're loving, they're caring. If you embrace them, they embrace you. And I got to tell you, Craig, I have probably about like 150 aunties and uncles. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Everybody's an auntie and uncle out here. Even if you don't know them, you still call them auntie and uncle.
That's right.
Yeah, everyone's close.
Yep. Everybody is, they're close-knit, tight-knit, family friendly, everything. It's just a great environment. I don't know if you heard what we were saying. We had Ash, you know who Ashley Lilly is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he came on our show. Gosh, I'd say probably 10 episodes ago, he came on it, and he had great things to talk, obviously, about June Jones, about the whole program as a whole, and just got us more excited, and I've had Jeff Reinbold come on our show.
Yeah.
Coach Reinbold, I followed him for a long time.
Yeah. He's our offensive line coach now. Yep.
Yep. He's a great guy to talk with. He actually gave us some pretty cool tips on how to be a better football coach, and I greatly appreciated him giving that advice. And it's so great to have you on. So before we get going in there, can you tell us what has been going on in your side of the things? What is the next adventures going on for Craig Angelos at University of Hawaii?
Well, I've been here about a year and a half now. It's a lot of great activities going on here, a lot of things to do. One of the big things that's out there is you mentioned Aloha Stadium. Aloha Stadium went offline, for those of you that don't know that, a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, because it went in kind of disrepair right after the pandemic. And so they had to shift really quickly to try to build a temporary stadium around our track on our campus. So we've been there for, I think, 3 years now, and we're trying to figure out what's next. There's some projects in the works where they're trying to build a new Aloha Stadium and Entertainment District where the old Aloha Stadium is. So we're farther down the road on that. But if we can get that built, then we're back in business. But right now we're kind of hovering in this temporary stadium, trying to make it work, in today's world. So it's been a little hard in that regard because it is only 15,000 seats. We hosted UCLA in it this year. I mean, we host some big teams in it. Hosted Stanford last year. So it makes do on and it looks good on the television. But so we've got to work through getting a stadium done. That's going to be our biggest thing. Our football program's doing pretty well. We got Timmy Chang. You mentioned June Jones. Timmy played for June back in the early 2000s, right before Cole Brennan, who and so Timmy's our coach. So we're doing pretty good there. He's in his third year, trying to work his way up there. So then, and of course, then with all that, you're battling, the transfer portal, you're battling NIL money out here. You're just trying to compete to be in the Mountain West. So we're getting there. It's good though.
Obviously, I got to say this to you, Craig. I want to say welcome to the Mountain West Conference. It has been a long time coming, and I got to let you a little in secret. I kind of knew you guys were going to, because I have people who I communicate to all over. I've been in media for over 20 years, and so I had people inside of the Mountain West, and they told me, I can't tell their names, but they had mentioned that they were going to talk to you guys about joining the Mountain West. They said you guys also were going to talk to the Pac-12. I had heard reports here we're going to talk to the All-American. I heard talks that you were going to talk to the Conference USA, even just because the 5 teams that left the Mountain West. But I got to say, I'm so thankful. I'm so happy. I'm excited to say officially, starting in 2026, the University of Hawaii is going to be a full-fledged member of the Mountain West Conference in almost all your sports. Now, there are a few sports that are probably going to stay in the Big West. I know you guys have not made that full decision yet, but it's a great thing, and I want to say congratulations.
Yeah, no, thank you. That was big for our school, to be a full member in a group of 5 conference, because we're kind of bifurcated. For those of you that don't know that out here, we were for football into one, but in the Mountain West, but then the Big West is where all our other sports are. So as you mentioned, a couple of our sports, men's volleyball, water polo, some of those will have to stay in the Big West, but everybody else will go over there. And I think it'll really help in a lot of our sports. Is certainly basketball will be big with. It's going to cause a little bit more travel. I don't know if people know that it's 5 hours. It's a 5-hour flight from Honolulu just to California, and that's where we would go for our other contests. Now we're going to be going into Albuquerque, into Laramie, into El Paso. So it's going to be a little bit more of a travel issue, but I think that's what people probably don't realize. I didn't realize that till when I came here, that it is a 5-hour flight across the ocean just to hit California. And if you go to Denver, you're probably talking 7 hours. So, it's quite a commitment to travel. And you're starting to see this with the Big Ten now when Stanford's going out to Rutgers or USC's going to Maryland or something. And so they're starting to see the same thing. But I didn't realize what a toll it takes on student athletes going back and forth. I'm talking even like our tennis team, our swimming team. I mean, you just don't get on I-95 and go up and down and do a bus trip and play someone and come home that night. I mean, you're making that full commitment to fly over, 2 days before your contest and try to get acclimated and then play. So it's quite an ordeal. But the Mountain West will be a little bit further away from us for our teams, but I think we'll fare really well in it.
Obviously, not having the travel subsidies anymore is going to be a great move for Hawaii. And, fans alike, they're so excited. Obviously, you have those fans who wish that Hawaii had signed with the Pac-12. But you know what, though? You guys are, from what I understand, the Mountain West is not done yet. Obviously, you guys just had the addition of Grand Canyon. There's talks that have been going around that the Mountain West is talking to North Dakota State, South Dakota State, both Montana and Montana State, Northern Illinois and Toledo for football only. I mean, the Mountain West is trying to really solidify themselves as a perennial powerhouse. And we asked a good friend of ours last night, do you think that with if the Mountain West is able to add Toledo or even Northern Illinois or even both North Dakota and South Dakota State, could they be considered a Power 5 instead of a Group of 5? And I'm going to ask you that same question. Do you think that that's a possibility?
Well, it's a good question. I mean, it used to be Power 5, then Pac-12 went away, so it's really Power 4 now. And usually the thing that separates that is the money that's being distributed in those television contracts. Because, for example, the Mountain West, I think we're getting about $5 million a year. I think the Americans getting like $7 million a year, but per team. But if you go up to the ACC and Big 12, I think they're probably around $40 million a year. And you go to the SEC and the Big 10, they're up about, let's just say 70 or 80 million a year. So if you look at that on a yearly basis, aggregate basis, in 2 years, we might 5 million, 1 year, 5 million, that's 10 years. I mean, 10 million, but it's, 80 million in the Big 10 over 2 years is 160 million. So, I mean, it just continues to escalate and it creates further and further distance. And so they're able to do more and more with their programs, with their NIL, with their facilities, with everything else. So that just creates the big gap between the Power 4 and the Group of 5 is the television money that is so disparate. That's the biggest issue. So I think we'll get a good television contract, but I don't think we're going to get anywhere near that amount. And I don't think that even you mentioned the Pac-12, the new Pac-12, it's not the old Pac-12, with USC in it, UCLA and Oregon and Washington. It's the new Pac-12 with the 5 Mountain West schools over there, and then Washington State and Oregon State that got left behind. So that's a whole nother, they've got the Pac-12, logo on the front of their jersey, but it's not a Power 5 either. So I think it's going to be hard to get to that and access that huge amount of funding that those schools have got.
Absolutely. Now, Matt, you have a question. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, I'm pretty sure the feeling was bittersweet for the women's soccer team season. So, just to come close, just to fall short, I'm pretty sure it was kind of heartbreaking. But, as Rob DeMello said, not pal yet. No. That was you guys.
You've heard that before too, right? The not pal yet, right?
You got a lot of Hawaiian words you got to weave into your vocabulary.
Okay. So pretty much, given what's happened this year, what's the level of excitement for 2025 in the women's soccer team?
Well, this is the first year we've won the regular season conference championship in the Big West. I mean, it's been, I don't know, 10, 15 years since we won that conference championship. So this was huge this year to win the conference championship in the regular season for our team. I mean, just outstanding. It was great, but we fell a little short in the conference tournament, so we didn't get that automatic bid to the NCAA tournament, but it was huge to do really well there. The coach there who's been coaching has been there for 10 to 12 years coaching for us. And she finally was able to get over the hump and win that conference championship and also be coach of the year also for the first time in her career too. So that was huge. I mean, if you I'm sure out there, you're not familiar with some of our Olympic sports, but I mean, we really do well in our Olympic sports. Our women's volleyball team is really good. It goes to NCAA tournament every year, is the third highest in attendance nationally behind Wisconsin and Nebraska every year. Our water polo teams in the top 4 of the nation. Our men's volleyball team has won 2 out of 2 national championships in the last 5 years. So there's a lot of great Olympic sports that don't get the same attention. Similar, like you mentioned, women's soccer, they just don't get the same attention as maybe football does out here, but they are really good.
And I gotta agree on that too. Hawaii men's, they won 2 straight national championships in volleyball. They're phenomenal, and of course, they came oh so close last year. And hey, I'm cheering them on, and I know they're going to return back to the next level of greatness. Shane, you have a question? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, well, you know, I hate to shift it back to football because we're talking about a lot of great sports that y'all do great in, but you know, I know your guys' contracts coming up with Adidas here, and you know, in the market of NIL and everything else going on in the landscape of things, you know, are you guys you know, considering other options? I know you know, you hear a lot of buzz out there wanting to go back to the Nike uniforms, especially with the Warrior Pride that they used to do, and you know, it was great. I loved them. So you know, are any talks you know, along those lines, and maybe that could supplement some of your other sports and the transportation and everything else?
Yeah, you must have been doing your homework a little bit before you got on for the interview there. I'm impressed.
Just a little.
Yeah, but and even Matt with the women's soccer, that's impressive too. But yeah, you know, we you know, every school has their apparel deal, whether it be Under Armour, Adidas, Nike, you know, even New Balance is making a play in the marketplace these days with Boston College and some of those others. But so, you know, when your deal runs out, you kind of see what else is out there in the marketplace. And yeah, we have been with the Under Armour for a long time, with Adidas recently, but it has come open. And so we are close to, you know, I guess I won't say it's a done deal, of course, but we are getting close with Nike. That would be our teams would be really happy with that if we can bring that in for landing. But it's always sticky, you know, because you know, the apparel companies, you know, want to hold on to you. They're very competitive. They try to match each other's bids, et cetera. So, but if we did end up making it to Nike, that would be I think a big accomplishment for our program. I know our coaches and student athletes would probably really appreciate it too. So yeah, a lot of good things going on. I mean, we talk about, you know, the Mountain West, we talk about, you know, getting in there. We talk about maybe seeing if we can pivot, maybe go to Nike. I mean, just trying to see where we can, you know, raise the level of performance here on the field and off the field. You know, if we get our stadium built, you know, a number of projects we're working on. So Hawaii is really at a critical time in its future, but there's a lot of good, you know, good opportunities ahead of us. Hopefully we can capitalize on, but that would be, you know, the apparel deal would be huge for us too, if we can bring that in for a landing.
Can you give us a little update as to what maybe is going on with New Aloha? I know that they made another approval with the group that has said they want to take over, you know, the district in Halava. Obviously, you know, the people have said we're still on track for the season opener in 2028. Do you still think that's a real possibility?
Well, I hope so. You know, the way your listeners that may not be familiar with Hawaii, you know, so Aloha Stadium was taken offline and with this repair. And so we've been playing on campus in a temporary stadium for 3 years. But during this time, they've the governor, the legislature, everyone's kind of been aligned with trying to come up with a new Aloha Stadium. And so they've tried to go through the procurement process of getting bidders who would basically, you know, a private-public partnership is what we're looking for. So it's called NASAD, the New Aloha Stadium and Entertainment District. So it's similar to one if you've seen at San Diego State, and there's others around the country where they're trying to, you know, put a stadium there, but also entertainment. We might be affordable housing, all that in kind of one big mega project. And so there was one developer that was selected to go forward with it, and they just made that selection, I think, official last week. And so then they'll have about 9 months to negotiate and try to enter a contract with the developer to see if they'll be able to get it all done. But the good thing is the state has allocated between $350 to $400 million for that project, for that stadium project that would go to the stadium. And then the developer would have to fund the rest of the elements around the entertainment district and affordable housing and things like that. So the question, I think, will come down to, can they fund the rest of the surrounding area? And if they can, then it'll all come together and we'll be playing out there in the fall of 2028, a home opener in August against Kansas. So that's our goal. And so we'll know more. Yeah, we'll know more probably April, May, June-ish to see if that looks like that's going to come about. But it's, everybody's all in on this project. We're all in on it. The governor, the legislature, they've allocated money for it. So I think we're in a good spot, but we got to get it to the finish line. And then, of course, if you've ever been to our campus, we're a little landlocked down here where our athletic facilities are. So if we were able to play out there in that new Aloha Stadium, then we could take some of the land surrounding our temporary stadium and make that into a performance center and some practice football fields and all that. So we'd be solid on campus. We'd be solid out there in a new Aloha Stadium, and it'd be a great situation for us. So we're kind of that precipice to see if we can pull it all off. But if we can, we'll be as good as anybody out there. But we just got to make sure we take it to the finish line.
Obviously, we're extremely excited with what's going on with the football program. Rob DeMello, KHON2, he said Hawaii still has a chance to get a bowl game if they were to go, even if they go 6-6. There's the Hawaii rule where Hawaii plays 13 regular season games to make up for, I believe it's budgeting issues. This one, I can't remember the full understanding of the Hawaii rule, but I've heard it so many times mentioned. But Rob said, 2016, 2021, Hawaii got a bowl invitation at a 6-7 record. And, he said, now if Hawaii does finish 6-6, there is a very likely possibility you do get invited to the Hawaii Bowl. What is the feeling going into, obviously you're playing Utah State next, and you finish up with New Mexico. Neither one of them are pushovers. They're really good teams,
Right.
And Matt and I have seen this plenty of times. We've said this a lot. There is a school in Kennesaw, Georgia, Kennesaw State. They are literally currently the worst team in all of FBS,
Right.
and they beat the number one team in Conference USA. So anybody can win at
Right.
any given time.
Right.
What is the mind frame going into, obviously, with Utah State, and then, starting to kind of glimpse at, with New Mexico?
Yeah, really good question, because see, we normally can't play 13 games. It's the Hawaii exception. In football, you can play 13 games, or even any sport that comes over and plays this gets an extra game or two on their schedules because of the distance, and that's been in place for many, many years, probably 20 or 30 years, 40 years. But we only scheduled 12 games this year, which was the first time we haven't played 13 in a long time. But the other caveat here is we played 2 FCS teams. Usually we'll play one FCS team, and one FCS win can count towards your being bowl eligible. But we could end up 6-6 if we beat Utah State and New Mexico. We'd end up 6-6, and people would think, oh, good, they're 6-6, they're bowl eligible. But underneath the schedule there's 2 FCS wins. So really, for bowl eligibility, we'd really be looked upon as 5-6, or the equivalent of 6-7. And so, as you know, if there's not enough bowl participants available for all the bowls, then they will go to the 5-7 teams, or in our case, the 5-6 teams. And that's based upon the way they base that on who would be the next one elevated into a bowl is based upon the APR, which is graduation rates, academic progress rates is what it's called. But we probably wouldn't be on the top of the list on the APR list to be that first one in. But we're hoping, working with ESPN, who owns the Hawaii Bowl, and the Hawaii Bowl really would like to keep us here because of our fan base and whatnot, that we're hoping that perhaps we can be included if we are 6-6 or 5-6 for bowl purposes, that we will be included into that Hawaii Bowl and can sneak in. Similar to what Robert DeMello was talking about with the 6-7 record, try to sneak in with that 5-6 record. We had, there's a myriad of circumstances why we got here. Last year, Oregon had to drop off because of their Big Ten ties, and they had to play Oregon State. So we had to go find another team to play at the last minute. We couldn't find one that was suitable. So that's why we added a second FCS team. But again, if we can finish strong, win our last 4 out of 5, and end up 6-6, our hope is that we still have that opportunity to stay home and play in the Hawaii Bowl. So that's what we're playing for. We haven't always played well on the road historically over the last 40 years or 30 years. I'm told we're like 40 and 104. Someone told me, but we're doing better now. We're chartering this year. We'll charter out there tomorrow. It'll be a little cold out there at Utah State, which our Hawaii boys probably used to. But we're hoping that we can, those are 2 beatable games. If we come home, beat them, and then come home with New Mexico for senior night, which is huge here, and we play really well at home, then I think we have a real shot. So that's our goal.
Now, I got to quickly let you know, you have a fan here, Mr. Craig. Mr. KC, go Bows. Craig is one of the best 80s in the country, a man of the people. What is your secret to success? And everybody knows KC works with you, so had to throw that in there, you know.
He's our hype guy, apparently. Look at that. I'm impressed. He's helping me out a little bit. But yeah, I mean, you know, I've been around this business for a long time, and every place you go is different, you know, and Hawaii is certainly different. So you kind of have to unlock the code for each particular place you go to. And so you go in, and I kind of take that mantra, you know, you've seen that saying that if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. And I've added a second stanza on there that says, if what you've gotten has been good, it should continue. But if what you've gotten has not been so good, you know, then you need to revamp it and improve. So when I go to different places, depending on what responsibility I have, I try to look to see what's going really well. You know, where are we and where do we need to be? If we're already doing a good job, then we move on to the next one. But just like surgically try to go in there and try to ascertain how we can make it better. And if we do need to make some changes and revamp, we do. I try not to call them changes. I call them adjustments because people don't like the word change. So I use the word adjustments. But I think that's been my mindset, is be able to come into any organization and look to see, you know, how we can make it better in all aspects. Because I've been involved in many athletic programs around the country. I've been on the internal side. I've been on the external side. And so I like to go into like that surgical approach. What can we do to make it better? And not toy with just things we don't need, but just, you know, if they're going well, keep it going and move on to whatever else needs to be done, and then figure out how to go from here to here. And I think I've been successful at that. I kind of have that mindset with that. I think that's been helpful here. But every place is hard, you know, but every place is different. So you go to, you know, some of those schools out in the South where I was out there, they got different issues and things than people out here in Hawaii. So I think that's kind of been my formula, is being able to have that expertise to kind of go in there and open it up and then make those adjustments in every area to see how we can make it better.
Matt, you have a question. Go ahead.
I do. Kind of piggybacking off of what you were saying, Craig, man, about your past. For those who don't know, kind of give us like a brief synopsis or like kind of brief history on you as far as how you started out to where you ended up or where you're at right now.
Yeah, good question. I mean, I played college baseball at BYU, so I was really into athletics. And then, of course, after that,
wow, hold on, I got to interject. You played at BYU, Hawaii's biggest rival.
Yeah, and we did play Hawaii, and we did play over here in this stadium right in my backyard there too. So, yeah, we came over and played here, and they were pretty hostile to us at BYU. I mean, there was a good rivalry going on in those days when we were on the WAC. And then I went to law school because I went and played baseball in Italy for a short time, professional baseball, but then I came back and went to law school, and so I was trying to figure out how to combine my legal interest with my athletics interest, and so I got into the NCAA, which is the national governing body, and I was interpreting all the rules and regulations there and kind of became a rules expert early in my career. And then from there, you know, then institutions want you. So for then I got into the started going to member institutions. I started at Miami. I went to Indiana. You know, I've been an athletic director at Florida Atlantic University for 10 years or so. You know, I've been at University of South Florida. I've been at Temple University. I've been out here now for 18 months. And so, you know, it's a rough and tumble world in college athletics, though, because anytime there's a leadership change as a president or an AD or football coach or basketball coach, they tend to want to bring in their own people. And so, you know, you got to be mobile if you're going to stay in this business. You got to be resilient. And so, you know, there's ups and downs in it, and I'm sure I'll face more in the future in that regard. But I just keep on pounding away, and because I love what I do. I love intercollegiate athletics. Have had opportunities to get out of it, but I just love being involved with the student athletes, being involved with, you know, just work with the teams and trying to raise money and trying to, you know, all sorts of things. So I've been all over the place. I mean, I did my early years at University of Miami when we had Ray Lewis and Warren Sapp and some of those guys who are in the Hall of Fame now. You know, we had a big pay for play scandal that I had to go in and investigate, go to all the NFL training camps, interview all of our former players, and try to take care of the University of Miami. So that was my first entry into college sports on a campus level. And then, you know, that was kind of my interest in like going in and solving problems. And that's kind of followed me along. I just like to go in and try to solve problems, get better. So that's kind of been my path over the last probably 30 years, going to the different schools. And hopefully I got another 10 or 15 years left in me.
So, we have a couple more questions we're going to ask you. Then obviously we got to let you run to your, do your athletic duties. Just want to quickly let you know, tonight is actually a record for the Sportz Nutz viewers. We are currently at 989 live views through all of our platforms. We have never had that many. So I want to say thank you from the bottom of mine and Matt's heart that we have. You've helped to get us that many people. Shane has a question for you. Shane, go right ahead, man.
Oh yeah, well, kind of tying back to the school coach culture and everything that you've gotten started and made the adjustments, man. We had the wildfires and everything out there. This past year or so ago, and you guys as a university kind of rallied around the community. Do you see that in being received well, and how are they giving back, and what are you guys' future plans to give back to the community, because I know they're so involved, especially being secluded out there like you guys are.
Yeah, that's a good question, because see, we're the only Division I team in Hawaii. There's a couple Division II programs, but we're the only Division I school in Hawaii, and there's no pro sports teams either. So we really are important to the community and to the whole all the islands. There's 8 islands. We try to go out there's about 6 of them that get a lot of attention. We try to go out and do events at them, speaking events, clinics. The sports teams go play them. Last couple of weeks ago, we went to Hilo, which is an island out here on the Big Island, a city on the Big Island called Hilo, and played University of Hawaii at Hilo, kind of a Division II team. Men's, women's basketball played there. The following week, they went to Maui, which is another place to play men's and women's basketball there too. So our baseball team has got out to Hilo. Our tennis teams, our football team goes out and does. So it's really important to embrace the whole state of Hawaii, not just Oahu on the island that we live on. And so on our jerseys, you'll see on the helmet or other places, we have a called the 8 island chain, the island chain, which basically is on all of our apparel that represents, that shows that we represent the whole state. We just don't represent one island. We represent the whole state. We are the state's university, the legislatures from all the different islands and everybody. We represent all 8 islands, and we feel part of that, and we need to serve them. And so we try to get out as much as possible. Our coaches get out there, do clinics with the kids, and just try to really envelop everybody. So like you mentioned, the Maui wildfires, we had a lot of people on our teams whose families were affected by Maui. And so we did a lot of outreach there. We sent a group out to help clean up. I mean, whatever we can do to represent the 8 islands, that's what we're here to do. So it's a great family atmosphere out here, because even though we're spread out different islands, there's that real common denominator called University of Hawaii, and athletics really unites our communities that way. It's been really good.
And I got to piggyback on that. Shane, you hit the nail on the head. The term is Lahaina strong, and it really is. Lahaina is a beautiful town. I have been there quite a few times. I love it. Beautiful town, beautiful everything there, right?
Yeah. And
I love how you just sat there and said that you're the state's team, and it's really true. UH it's a special kind of place. It's a special everything, and people, they always focus on, it's Hawaii, it's paradise, right? Yes, it's paradise, but there's a lot that you can do for community-wise for them, because, I have friends who live there, and they say, their parents have had to work 3 and 4 jobs to support the cost. Obviously, the cost of living is an arm and a leg out there. It really is.
It's very expensive.
I have a question for you, and this is from one of our watchers. What challenges have you encountered as the athletic director of UH that maybe surprised you in your 18 months in Hawaii?
Well, I think you're coming in as an outsider. When I first got here, they kind of joked you about being the Hallie from the mainland. So, you're coming in,
the white boy,
which is a white guy from the mainland. So you're kind of coming in as an outsider, and you have to really try to work to get involved or to be accepted as an insider. I joke with the people, like, how long is it going to take for me to be considered a local? And they're like, well, it depends on how good you do, kind of thing. But I think that was the hardest part there, is just trying to to see, how to integrate in. But I think, as I try to say, kindness is a universal language, no matter what culture you're in. And so I think if you try to treat people well, that goes a long way, and you show genuine interest in there. So I think that was an interesting challenge, to try to navigate, which I'm still trying to navigate. And I don't know if I'll ever figure it out. But you're just try to be kind to everybody and try to do the right thing. And then, but on the other side too, the fan base, the passionate fan base, like I said, everybody is from here. Many of them stay here. They've been loyal fans for 20, 30, 40 years. They love their state institution. Because, I mean, think about it. Every place where you're at, there's competing in Division I schools in your state and whatnot, and there's divided allegiances. But here, everybody is aligned with the University of Hawaii. So that was the impressive thing that I'd never seen before, is just how everybody's aligned with the athletic programs here. Win or lose, they'll certainly want to win, but win or lose. So those are some of the key things I picked up that I was not aware of when I came here. But yeah, it's a great place to be. I mean, you mentioned the expense. It is expensive to live here. A lot of multi-generational living. Housing is so expensive, and that's what's probably the hardest part about people wanting to stay here. But a lot of times they have to. A lot of times Hawaiians have gone to Vegas or gone to other places to try to, because the cost of living is so high. So that's a little bit of a tough thing to overcome. But generally speaking, it's a great place to be, and great people, and they really support the University of Hawaii.
And I didn't tell you this, Craig. I actually lived out there for 3 years, so I know 100%. It's a money pit, yes. But you know what though, they're great people. The state, they're phenomenal. If you, like I said, if you embrace them, they will accept you with open arms. Yeah. And like I said, I have I guarantee I probably have 200 aunties and uncles. Yeah. And I'm okay with it because I love every one of them. I love my friends and everything from Hawaii. And we cannot thank them enough for, being Sportz Nutz fans. And I'm going to tell you this, Craig. I know we have to let you go because you do have a lot going on. And it is only, it's only 2:00 in the afternoon there. So, yeah. But I want to tell you this. I'm honored that you took the time to come on our show. Thank you so much. For real, I'm being really serious with this. We had just hit the 1,000 viewer mark through all of our platforms, and that's literally
every night out there. Must be a slow night if I'm the best that they got to watch.
So we've only been doing this since April, like I told you, I've been in media for 20 years. Yeah. I'm known in 49 of the 50 states. The only state, Alaska, but I'm actually really close. I'm talking to somebody from Anchorage, the University of Anchorage, Alaska. I'm talking to them. So I may have connections in all 50. But, Craig, I have had an absolute blast having you on. Matt and Shane have had an absolute blast. I mean, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And I'm telling you this, obviously go Bows, 100%. Yeah. I'm excited to see what both men's and women's are going to do this year. Obviously, the men's, they're 3-0 right now. They're having a great run. The women's, 3 years in a row, Big West champions. I would love to see the women finish out the remaining time in Big West as champions of the Big West and go into the Mountain West and be like, oh my God, we have to play Hawaii. They're going to really, they're instilling some serious fear in us. I'm looking forward to that, and I'm so proud of the teams. I'm beyond excited for the soccer program. The women's soccer did phenomenal. Volleyball does phenomenal. Baseball, I'm looking forward to seeing the new turf at the Les. I know that you guys are just recently did some upgrades. I'm literally a huge person. So I love everything you guys are doing, and I want to say keep it up. And we ask humbly if you would come on our show again in the near future.
Anytime. I enjoy being with you guys. This is great. Love it.
Shane, give your final shout out to him, please.
Oh yeah, man. Well, hey, I appreciate it, man. First episode back in a while. Had some things going on. Such a special episode, man. Great talking to you. We're down here from South too. We're everybody's one real big family. So I get that connection from you. So hey, man, I hope to see you in the future, and hopefully we get to talk again at length about other things other than just what you got going on.
Yeah, anytime.
Matt, your turn.
Yeah, Craig. Thanks for coming on, man. We really appreciate it. Definitely look forward to the next time we have you on.
Yeah, let me know. I appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time. I enjoy it, and great meeting you guys. And go Bows, right?
Go Bows. Aloha, sir, and mahalo for coming on. We really appreciate it, brother.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too.
Guys, can you believe we are literally sitting at 1,001 viewers right now through every platform? That's literally every platform. Right now alone on YouTube is 200.
Hey guys.
we appreciate you. I cannot tell you how excited I am that we had this episode. And by the way, folks, do you see this gentleman? Whoop, hold on, here we go. Right here. Look, who is this gentleman right here, folks?
Who
is that?
How do you miss the one guy below you?
You know what? Matt, you know what? Hey, look, Matt, I'm flagging. You're flagged. Oh my God, guys. This was like, this is like the highlight of the day, and our Matt Brian texted me. He said, he actually asked, as we're in dinner, he goes, "Are you nervous?" I said, "I actually am. I'm very nervous to have such a big personality come on." So let me give you the rundown, folks. Shane was a part of our inaugural campaign.
He had a beard back there.
He had a Duck Dynasty beard. It came about here, and it's red. He is a redhead, and don't be disguised. He literally has red facial hair too.
No.
He's a
I
black.
don't have any hair. I don't have any hair.
Only eyebrows.
It doesn't grow. Eyebrows, and then this comes back.
Yeah.
So Shane was a part of our inaugural crew. We have had, a lot going on with us. Shane just recently has relocated, y'all. As you heard in the beginning, he relocated to Simpsonville from way down south, and we are so happy to have him up here. And I'm thrilled that he, we reached out together, and he said he would love to come on and spend some time with us. It's been a great time having you on, Shane, and our door is always open to have Mr. Shane Owen come on the show, brother.
Oh yeah, well, man, I appreciate it, man. Like I said, I love coming on and talking with everybody. I mean, relocating, you got to get to meet new people. You don't necessarily get to talk, and you got to go through that process of meeting them and finding out what you guys have in common to talk to. But,
yep.
Hey, I know. I come here, man. We all got one thing in common. We love to talk sports. We have great atmosphere, great time. You've brought on special guests. I mean, out the wazoo. So man, I appreciate the opportunity to come back, man, and just talk for a little bit. Sorry, special guest in here. She wanted.
Oh no, we are perfectly fine seeing Miss Lily. In fact, can we please see the beautiful girl again? She's adorable. Can we please see Miss Lily?
Yeah, she's just laying on the bed. Hold on for 1 second. Lily,
hi, baby. Look at that beautiful girl. She's a pretty girl.
Oh, she's
and
a big
Stella's
girl.
over here. Stella thinks we're calling her because she's over here like, please pet me. But you know what, guys? I had so much fun. Shane, like I said, you're always more than welcome to come on, brother. We appreciate you. But
oh yeah,
yeah, man, I'm so honored.
And like I told Matt, I mean, it won't be too long. I'll be coming down to Atlanta for some sporting events and stuff like that. So we'll definitely have to link up, do some things. Especially go out to eat again there at Tequila's, man. Now that I'm close.
It's a spot, man.
Hey, what we didn't tell you though is Matt and I were working on getting some more sponsors. We may be coming close to getting some in Atlanta, so stay tuned for that one. Matt and I are really working on that one. And guys, like we told you already, we're going to reiterate, season 2 is coming to an end soon for the Sportz Nutz. However, folks, we're only gone for a week. Then season 3 kicks in. We're going to have...
I don't know, but I might need 2 weeks, man. I might need a 2-week vacation.
You know what? There's your next flag again, sir.
Oh, man.
Pass interference on Springs.
Nah, man. But not Shane, man. Definitely good to see you, man. I haven't talked to you in a bit, man. So definitely good to see you again, man. Glad you're doing well. Glad you made an appearance here, man, with us, man. Got the graces.
Man,
So
it's been
man.
hectic. It's been hectic. I can tell you that much. Still got it
Well,
going on,
relocating in general is hard.
Oh yeah, but hey, I'm going back down to get some more stuff this weekend. But I got a good buddy of mine. He's got the Jake Paul Tyson fight ordered, and then we got the Bones fight. Got the John Bones fight ordered. We're gonna do some grilling out, hanging out. Us and the boys. We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, let's dive
all
into
that matters.
Let's dive into that, man. It is sports. It is sports, man. The Tyson Paul fight. Well,
okay, I gotta ask you guys a question. Is that a real belly on him, or is that just like a stupid suit? Is he really that fat?
Who, Tyson?
Paul.
No, Paul.
Is he really that fat, or is it just like I see all these stupid videos, and he has this belly. It looks like he's pregnant.
That must have been a fat suit or something, man.
Yeah, it was a fat suit. Yeah, with the TikTok stuff on the.
Yeah, it's like he's like eating like 1,000 McDonald's and stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's in shape, man. It's just marketing stuff, man. Just marketing things.
No, he's roided out. Both of them are gonna be roided out.
Well, Tyson's almost 60. Tyson's almost 60, man. He needs something. He needs something, man. So I don't know.
Hey, if you see him on Rogan and them podcasts, just give him those capsules. He'll eat them and just go to town.
Oh man!
Oh my
God! What do you think, Brandon? You got Paul or Tyson? Who you got?
I gotta go with Tyson. I really do. Just because it is Tyson. We grew up seeing what he was. Mike Tyson is synonymous with the term elite. He may be the dumbest person in the world, but he is an incredible fighter. I mean, the reason why I say he's dumbest is because he got a stupid tattoo on his face. Like, that's dumb. But he is a phenomenal fighter. He's a heck of an athlete. And, the dude's 60 years old. He still can fight like he's 30. I mean, he still has that juice power in him. And I don't care if it's roids or what. But he still is elite. What do you think, Shane? Do you think he's elite still or what?
I'm not going to say elite. I mean, in his age, elite, yes, for sure. But, as a boxer, I mean, he's fighting somebody that's around my age. What's Paul? I mean, I'm only 35. So he's probably younger than me.
I don't even know how old he is.
He's got to be late 20s, right? Got to be late 20s.
I think so.
I think like 28, 29, something like that.
Yeah, it has to be.
I mean, but it's all a big ploy. It's a money making deal. That's what we see right now. But hey, the funniest thing that I saw though is somebody hoped that Tyson bit both ears off in this fight.
Oh my God, I remember that too. Like it was just yesterday. Andrew Holyfield getting that ear bitten off,
Yeah, man. I was just gonna ask, man, does Jake Paul go in there with a headband on, covering both ears? So
like his brother on WWE.
Oh yeah. Hey, I gotta ask you this real quick, Shane. Matt and I, we've said this constantly. We've talked to our mutual friends about this as well. South Carolina, I said this. Matt has said this too. They're the most consistent, inconsistent team you'll ever meet. And I said, if South Carolina comes out hot, like guns blazing, they are unstoppable. But then again, the question that comes to mind is which South Carolina team shows up, right? And, what are your thoughts? I've seen some people on Twitter say South Carolina should be in the 12. I have some people say they're lucky to be in the 25. What do you think? Do you think South Carolina should be in the 12?
South Carolina has a path to the 12. That's all I'm going to say. Because if you're only putting one in from the Big 12, you're only putting one in from the ACC.
You still got a whole list of SEC and Big Tens.
Yeah. So you only got one Power 5 or Group of 5. I mean.
Yep.
And then so you're looking at 5, 6, 7 SEC teams. I can say it right now, the way that South Carolina's performed since the Ole Miss game, which doesn't look as bad now, seeing them blow out Georgia the way that they did.
Mm-hmm.
Since that game, South Carolina is the best 3-loss team in the country.
I can see that too. But like I said, you got to come out guns blazing.
Yep. Lenore's, once he switched from the glasses to the contacts, kind of got away from the media spotlight where, this was going to be a one and done kind of thing. Now he's just a football player and, doing good. Their offense is kind of gelled. They've become an offense that can control the time of possession. That's the big thing.
Mm-hmm. And that's the biggest issue. It's consistency.
It took a little while for them to do it, but they've gotten healthy. I can put it to you like that. They're healthy. They're firing on all cylinders at the right time. Tennessee controls their own destiny because if they win out, then they're number 2 seed going into the damn playoffs.
Did you guys see this?
They're one loss.
You saw the new projections came out. Georgia is actually one of the first 2 out, so Georgia may not even get a chance to be part of the 12. And that's weird to really sit there and say that.
They got Tennessee this week, so we'll see.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good matchup, regardless. Good, good all around weekend of football coming up, which we will talk about. On Friday. Shane, like I said, the door is always open. Friday, we have Abe Gordon coming on. I can't wait to have him on. We always have good conversations with him. Before we let you go, Shane, I want you to tell me this and be honest, okay?
Oh, no.
Should Matt shave that nasty beard off, or should he let it grow?
Hey, no. I've had it.
I just don't know, Matt. I'm sorry.
I've had mine down to here before. It can grow back. It can grow back, as you can tell. It grows back pretty quick.
Right now, we are in the running. We're trying to become Black Santa Claus for my area.
Oh God!
Here
we go. Because we only talked about the fact that mall Santa Claus is making $100,000 a year.
You better put some beard booster on that thing.
Hey! You know how we do, man. I put some extensions on. Put some extensions on the beard, man. Put some weave on the beard.
Make sure you get that good weave now.
Yeah, some good weave, man, on the beard.
Hey, they do that now. They do that like on a felt cloth. Look, you in the area, you know it can be done.
Wait. Are you sitting here saying you want Matt to look like a Duck Dynasty individual with that beard way down here?
Hey, Rick Ross, the boss.
Exactly. Man, big beard.
Oh my God. I don't know. I don't know about you guys. Y'all crazy. Oh man. This has been so much fun. It's great to catch up again. Guys, the fact that we reached a milestone mark of over 1,000 views. Can you guys put I just can't thank everybody enough from the bottom of my heart. Obviously coming on and showing that you have true interest in this show. It really makes us giddy at heart, and Shane, like I said, you're more than welcome to come on anytime. And we have a lot of things lined up. You're right. Matt and I had a good friend actually here of Sam Houston State on a few episodes ago. You talk about like a group of 5. I hate to break it to you guys. Sam Houston State, they went from 8%, Matt, to a 12.5% chance of making the 12, man. What do you think? Do you think it could happen, Shane? Do you think Sam Houston State could break the 12?
I don't see it with the way that old Genty's playing right now.
Oh my gosh, the Boise State. That he is a freak athlete.
To the subject,
Hey, all I'm gonna say is record broken, possibly looking like it might be.
I think he's going to break Barry Sanders. I really do.
Absolutely.
I think he might, and he still might not win the Heisman.
That is a possibility. Jim? What are your thoughts on this whole?
He should win the Heisman, but he might not.
That's true. So let me ask you this: what are your thoughts on this report that came out? Sorry, Aspen's being excited. That Prime is in line to be the next Dallas Cowboys head coach.
If they tank and get the first pick for Shador.
Ooh.
And that is so. I'm so glad you said that because Matt, what did I text you the other day about Dak Prescott? Matt, okay, so Shane, you know what happened to Dak Prescott, right? He had a full avulsion of his hamstring, which means the muscle completely separated from the bone. 98% of the players who have that kind of injury that when they come back, they have never been full strength. Their career is basically done after that injury. And it was mentioned on ESPN First Take. It was mentioned with Stephen A. Smith. It was mentioned on 24/7 Sports. You name it, it has been mentioned that we may have just seen the last time ever Dak Prescott playing an NFL game. And, Jerry Jones, old man Jones, decided to say, Dak Prescott's going to be back in 4 weeks. And now we're talking career ending. And I'm so glad you said the possibility that Dallas tanks, and Dallas could do what Dallas does. Dallas is, they've done some crazier stuff, and their time is the devil has been the owner of the team. And, could Dallas really just tank and could they really go for Shedeur Sanders? And then, heck, why not bring Prime as their head coach, right?
I mean, that would be the incentive for him to come. I mean, and I don't, I think Shedeur is a great athlete. I think that there are other possible number 1 picks that you could have out there. So, but I'm, if he's going to be the number 1 with all that pressure and everything, I think that it would have to be the Dallas, and Prime would have to be the coach for him to handle it, the way the best fit for his future, not just the next year or so coming, but his future. But Dallas is in a tough situation. Their owner needs to get on the horse and just be an owner and not a GM too.
Yeah, absolutely. That has been the talk around the NFL since, the late 90s even. So, this last question I'm going to ask, give us your 3 Heisman finalists and why.
Okay, so you got Genty, rushing record. I mean, and it's not against abysmal opponents like you could say somebody from a group of 5 has been against. We're talking about a decent group of schools that he's faced and he's done great in. I mean, we're looking at, if he played all 4 quarters, he would already broke the record.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he's played like four games, I think, this year. He's cut out like mid 3rd quarter. So I mean that's he's my Heisman winner right now. I look at Travis Hunter, what he has done offensively and defensively, and what they have done to now become could this be the Big 12's team to get into the playoff?
That's a very real, and it's weird to say that too.
They control their own destiny. So you look at those 2 athletes, and then it's kind of a toss up from them. You got Ewers. Of course, his stats are a little bit bad because of what his injury that he went through. You got Milroe, who didn't show up until last week in big games this year. You've got Jackson Dart, who's put up the numbers. You've got Dylan Gabriel, who, as far as quarterbacks, kind of leads the statistical and the, a win percentage and done it in the big games. Hasn't really stood out in the Heisman race at this point, other than, Genty and Hunter. But in the end, it's something that people vote on. So, I think Gabriel will probably end up 2nd, Hunter 1st, Genty 3rd, maybe. Just depends on how things shake out. If Gabriel has a true 450-yard game, say in the Big Ten championship, to solidify him, putting off, a great defense, whoever they're going to face in that game. You kind of got to give him that edge over Genty, but I think Hunter and what he's done in the body of work, as long as it progresses and they make the playoff, the big thing is about wins. Boise State, they've got a real likelihood to win out. Oregon, not so much. And then you're looking at Colorado, they've got a good likelihood to win out as well. So I like Genty and Hunter's chances to be on top there at the end, but if Gabriel does it and does it well, hey, you never know.
Matt, give me your quick 3 Heisman finalists.
Kind of gotta agree with Shane here, man. You look at what Genty's done. You look at what Hunter's done. Also the same with Dylan Gabriel. But people also forget. Cam Ward was having a great season as well, man.
Until who beat him again? Who beat him again?
I was getting. No, I was getting.
Virginia Tech.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I hadn't seen y'all since, but we got robbed.
Look at Matt's face.
We got robbed from that.
Whoa! No,
we got robbed from that one, but y'all took it finally. We got robbed from the first one though.
Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech crushed his undefeated seasons, undefeated season of the Hurricanes. So I think that'll penalize Ward a lot as far as that Heisman race. That loss will hurt them a lot. But there's the same 3 that Shane said. Those are kind of more than likely going to be the 3 finalists, just for the simple fact that they have the best chances of winning out. So, I think it'll be a close race, a lot closer than people think it's going to be. There's no clear cut yet. Usually by this time, there's one or two clear cuts that you have. We don't really have a clear cut yet. So it's going to come down to wins and losses in the end. That's how I see it.
Yeah. The path is clear cut, but we don't know how they're going to take the path.
Hey, man, anybody can lose. So UGA just lost. They should have won. They should have beat.
Yep.
So
here, I'm going to go with you guys on this a little bit. However, I'm going to throw a pickle in there. I mentioned this earlier, Matt, a few episodes. Jackson Dart, dude. The dude he's bad. He's legit.
He is.
He threw 15 yards a few games ago, 6 touchdowns. He's throwing ridiculous numbers. He just beat the freaking UGA, the number 3 team at the time. So I'm going to say number 3 is Jackson Dart. Number 2, I'm going to give Dylan Gabriel the nod for that as well. But the number 1, though, is Genty. I think Genty wins it, but I think it's going to be between him and Gabriel really quick, though. I say a 10-point difference.
Genty has to break the record to get it. He has to break the record.
He has to absolutely do it. Yep.
You have to give it to him. If he breaks the record, you have to give it to him. It's like you have to give it to him. Yep. You have to. But we'll see. So,
guys, we've been everybody's ear for an hour and 3 minutes, and we've had an absolute blast. We topped out at 1,081 live viewers. Right now we're at 270. And guys, I've had so much fun. We had Craig Angelos, athletic director from the University of Hawaii. We had this man right here, Shane Owen. Back. Look at that. See, I did it at that time. Back and better than ever. We've had so much fun. But guys, we ain't gotta go home. We gotta get the heck up out of here, kind of thing. Guys, I've had so much fun. Matt, what about you? How would you rate this episode? It's got to be one of your top 5, right?
Good episode, man. Got the quote unquote. This is like a hanging with the bros episode, man. I enjoyed it.
Yes, absolutely. Shane, what did you think? Is this your top 5?
Oh yeah, man. Hey, I was only on there at the beginning, but hey, I can only say that I'm. It's been a pleasure to be on again. Being in a position where I can sit down and hang out and be with the boys.
That's right. That's all it is, guys. Look, we've had so much fun with you. Want to do a quick rundown of what to expect in the coming episodes. Look, Friday we have Abe Gord, 92.9 The Game is coming on. Then we have Matt and mine's good friend, Mr. Nick Shalini, 6A event. Look, Matt, I'm still trying to convince Nick to bring Chernoff and Domino on. I will let you know if it happens. If they do, we're gonna have a party. We're gonna have the party there, And then look, the 22nd, we have our good friend Shane Anderson of the Alabama Beaver IFA football team coming on. Hey, Matt, I want to let you know, Mr. Andre Duncan, our good friend at the South Carolina Ravens, he has asked us to contact him in the next couple of weeks to see if we can get something up to go together. So I told him we will get it going. So be on the lookout, everybody. Remember, the Sportz Nutz is the official sports show of the arena football team, the South Carolina Ravens. Yes, we are live and we are proud about it. We cannot wait.
Location.
All right, guys. With that being said, for our good friend, Mr. Craig Angelos, the athletic director, what the heck are you snipping? What is wrong? Oh, Lord, here we go. Here we go. For our good,
we'll make sure we blur that out in the edit.
yeah.
Blur that out in the edit.
For our good friend Craig Angelos, the athletic director of the University of Hawaii. For our good friend right here, Mr. Shane Owen. Shane, what do you tell everybody again? What do you tell them to do?
Oh man, hey, peace, love, and bacon grease.
Peace, love, and bacon grease and D's. And for my good friend Matt, what do you tell everybody not to get done?
Yes, guys. I mean, it's going to be a great, nice, cold, good weekend. You're going to want to go out. You're going to want to go someplace warm, sip some alcohol, feel warm inside. Just please make sure you do not get flagged. Don't get in trouble. Just be an adult. That's it.
That's right.
Just
don't do something stupid. We're not bailing you out.
No.
Shane sure as heck ain't bailing you out because he don't want to mess with that kind of stuff. Just don't do something stupid. Be smart, guys. Don't get flagged.
Please.
We love you guys. We've had so much fun with you. I can always say, peace up, 8 down. Why? Because it's the greatest city for sports world ever. Hey, Matt, don't forget, Rise Up's taking advantage of the Denver Broncos. Cannot wait to beat Sean Payton.
You better take advantage of something because we didn't take advantage of them Saints last week, so we better do something.
You know what?
Do something.
Matt, you see it? You're flag number 3, sir. Good grief. That is another 15-yard penalty.
3
Anyways,
3 in one
yes.
episode. Oh, man.
Guys, we've had so much fun. Until Friday, remember, 7:30, we'll be live. And we are actually going to have a special guest join us to talk with Abe. I'm not going to go into details because they've asked me not to yet. Matt knows who they are, so we will go from there. But until then, guys, we will see you on Friday. And thank you so much for all 1,000 of you watching the show and the 285 currently on. Until then, we will see you on Friday. And good night. And don't get flagged. Well, he just did. He just scored 8 points. That's big. He had a career